many people had heard the word racism before, but what exactly is it? The definition of racism is prejudice, discrimination, or antagonism directed against a person or people on the basis of their membership in a particular racial or ethnic group. According to the Smithsonian Magazine, long ago, between 1525 and 1866, the transatlantic slave trade kidnapped 12.5 million people from Africa for them to become slaves. White people, though they were superior to the race, therefore they can do whatever they want. After the American Civil War, slavery came to an end, but racial discrimination still stood tall. Physical, mental, and sexual violence are prominent in racial abuse. For example, black men are overrepresented in the media as perpetrators of violent crimes, and black people are overrepresented in news stories about poverty. This has affected how black people see themselves and how society sees black people. Second, many laws prohibit black people from owning homes in certain neighborhoods, condemning them to lower quality housing and preventing them from accumulating wealth. Society sees this and sees this as a vindication of the idea that black people only live in low income.
Have you ever felt like you were prejudiced?
He was saying, "Go back to China, you stupid Chinaman." Chinaman is very offensive. My dormmates laughed at me because I wasn't very good at English when I first arrived in the US. These problems, they all come from racial discrimination, and laughing at people's accent is not very nice towards immigrants. I just think that the white people, they think that white is the purest color. They just think that they're better than everyone else.
Is there anything that you'd like to share with other immigrants?
Every time you get bullied, you get verbally bullied or physical bullied in either way, so you cannot just stand back and say nothing about it. You have to take action.
What do you want to say to the people who are discriminating others?
So I would like to tell them all people are equal. No one deserves to be treated as any person.
My first question is, have you ever witnessed someone committing discriminations to who were you? Is there experiences of that?
When I moved to Venezuela, I lived in an area in Maracaibo. Every time I would go to my apartment building and they had a new guard, the guard would always assume that I came to the building to clean someone's house. Because they just assumed that because I was black, that I came to that nice apartment to work as a maid. It never made me feel like, well, I don't want to be here anymore. On the other hand, it probably made me think, I'm going to keep coming back and keep showing you that people like me can live in a place like this and not be the maid. You know? Yeah.
Do you have any suggestions that they should, like how they could react to these situations?
Assume that people are reacting to you in this way because they don't know better. And you have to show them what it's like to be better. So, respond with grace and respond with dignity. And if you have an opportunity to educate people about who you are and where you're from, take it.
The Australian Human Rights Commission has conducted a research over 800 Australian secondary schools. In all of them, the Commission discovered that students who face racism all suffer from the same trauma and symptoms, such as ongoing feelings of sadness, anger, depression, and being left out, or headaches, increased heart rate, sweating, trembling, and muscle tension. It can also be a constant fear of being verbally or physically attacked. It can be not wanting to go to school. It can be having little or no trust in anybody apart from family. These impacts can lower a person's self-esteem and worsen their relationships with family, friends, peers, teachers, co-workers, or bosses.
我的第一个问题是呢，就是您介意，比如说白种人、黑种人当您的朋友吗？
不介意，谁都可以是。
对，
白种人、黑种人
那就好，
都是人类嘛，对吧？
是。
他的观点和你不一样，你得慢慢去说服，你可以感化，可以那啥，但不能因为他观点不同就不和他交朋友或者不和他相处。
非常好的。那您就是在现实生活中面对面 看到过别人受歧视吗？
很少。
有没有什么教导，就是领悟到什么东西，想教导一些受歧视的人？
如果遇到自己的话，我自己是肯定愿意去说服、教育、帮助吧。
How can we solve this issue? So first, you can examine your own biases and consider where they might have originated. What is the racial or ethnic composition of your community, school, or religious community? These experiences generate and reinforce prejudices, stereotypes that lead to discrimination. Act by understanding the ways in which racism continues to affect our society. Second, we shouldn't say racist jokes or remarks out loud. So let people know that racist comments are wrong. Try to break their thought process and ask some questions. For example, that joke doesn't make much sense to me. Can you explain that? Remember, saying nothing or laughing along means you agree. Lastly, we should support your community. Take a stand on your wallet. Understand the practices of the companies you invest in and the charities you donate to. Try to shop at small local stores and give your money back to the people who live in the community.